Hey YouTube, I've gotten several requests to do some different cooking vlogs, so this is my first attempt at a cooking vlog. Tonight, thanks to Pinterest, I'm going to be making a broccoli and beef with sticky rice recipe. So stay tuned and I'm going to show you guys how I'm making it. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to show you is the marinade. I already have it mixed up through the magic of television. And so what I put in here was a ½ teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of low sodium soy sauce, any brand that you like. I prefer a brand called, Tamari, and I used to get it when I was stationed in Japan, and I've been able to find it in the States, and I love it. It's really, really good soy sauce. Also 1 tablespoon of water and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And then you'll want to have your steak. So flank steak, steak for fajitas, any kind of cut of steak. You cut it up. I have it seasoned with garlic powder, onion powder, fresh black pepper, and a little bit of Lawry's. And because we're big seasoned people, we like for our food to be seasoned. So that is what it's seasoned with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the steak to the marinade. I'm going to toss it, and then I'm going to cover it and put it in the refrigerator for about an hour. The next step that you want to do is to prepare your rice. What I usually do is wash my rice beforehand, and before I get too far ahead, this is the kind of rice that we're using. It's Thai sweet rice. Whenever I eat Asian inspired meals, I like to have sticky rice. It kind of reminds me of when I was stationed in Japan. So what I do first with my rice is I wash it about 3 times in cold water until it's about clear. There is a lot of debate whether washing the rice takes away the nutrients or not, but this is the way that I prepared it when I lived in Japan, so that's the way that I'm going to do it. So I'm going to put about 3 cups of water in here, and I'm going to let this soak. This kind of rice, you need, it has a really hard exterior to it, so you need the soaking helps kind of soften that up. So I'm going to let that soak for about 30 minutes. While my rice is soaking, I'm going to go ahead and mix up my sauce. So I've already done that once again through the magic of television, and I have combined a ½ cup of soy sauce. This is a good time if you have your favorite soy sauce and you prefer to use it just on your food and not really in cooking, to have a backup, maybe less expensive brand. So a ½ cup of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, 1 tablespoon of sherry. If you don't have sherry for cooking, then you can look up a alternative, and that alternative you can use vinegar mixed with vanilla and a little bit of sugar. I know it's weird, but that's what the substitute is. 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and 4 little cloves of garlic minced, and then you'll want to add your 2 heads of broccoli later on. Now I am getting ready to start cooking my rice. So what I've added is 3/4 teaspoon of sea salt to the standing water that I have. I've turned my heat on to high, and I'm going to go ahead and let this start to boil. And then once this gets into a good boil, then I'm going to start working on my meat. Now that my rice is at a gentle boil, I'm going to go ahead and turn it down to medium high, and I'm going to put the pot on it. I'm going to leave the pot askew to let some of the steam escape. There are also people who prefer to use the rice cookers or steamers, and you would just follow the instructions on how to use that. But this is if you don't have a rice cooker and you want still sticky rice at home. Alright, now that I got my rice going good, I'm going to go ahead and start on getting my meat and other everything else prepared. So the first thing I'm going to do is put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a wok, or if you have a big saute pan, then you can use that as well. I'm going to turn this to high heat to get it simmering and getting the oil all ready to go. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add my broccoli. This is just Trader Joe's broccoli florets, and I'm using those because fresh broccoli, we don't eat it fast enough, so this is easier just using the frozen broccoli. I'm going to saute that for 3 minutes, and then I'm going to get ready to add my meat. Alright, now it's time to cook the meat. So this is my marinated meat. I added another tablespoon of oil. I'm going to put this back on my heat. Oh, and I transferred my broccoli to a bowl because it's not quite ready to go into the mixture yet. So I'm going to put the meat into the wok, and then I'm going to add half of my sauce that I pre-made over here. I'm going to re-whisk it to make sure everything is mixed, and then I'm going to saute all of that for 3 to 4 minutes, and then I'm going to let it cook until there is no more pink showing. So the rice has been cooking for about 10 minutes, and so we want to check on it. So what you want to do to check and see if your rice is done when cooking this kind of rice is to make a hole. And you'll want to see if all of the water is gone. If you don't see any water when you go all the way down to this hole, then you're good. If there's still water there, then you'll want to let it cook another 5 to 10 minutes just to get it all the way done. It should fluff up really nicely, and I'm just going to let mine cook just a few minutes longer. It's a little bit too kind of wet, sticky for me, so I'm going to let it firm up a little bit more, and then I'm going to just pull it off the heat. Okay, so my beef has been cooking for about 4 minutes now, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is add in my sauteed broccoli that I prepared earlier. I'm going to go ahead and get that all mixed up, and then I'm going to also go ahead and add in the remainder of my sauce, giving it one last good whisk to make sure everything is mixed in together. And then I'm going to saute this all together for another minute or two, and then we will be ready to eat. Alright, so there you have it. Beef and broccoli with sticky rice, made all at home, completely from scratch, and it smells delicious, and I'm sure it tastes just as good. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Bye!